from 32 teams to 14 to 8 to 4. And now the final two. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams. And boy, are we in for a good one. So let me talk about how we got here. The Cincinnati Bengals, the unlikely team to reach the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, I say unlikely for a reason. But you're talking about a team that hadn't won a playoff game for 31 years, who haven't been to the Super Bowl in 34 years, and all of a sudden they're playing the big game. Of course, they're not playing against the San Francisco 49ers like they did back in 1988, but I digress. Instead, they're taking on, the Los Angeles Rams. But how did they get here? They first won the AFC North with a game-winning field goal by their rookie kicker, Evan McPherson, against the Chiefs in Week 17. They won, and then they say, we want more. And they became the 4th seed. They'll sound familiar in a second. They arrived, and then they dismantled they sold off the Las Vegas Raiders. I almost say Oakland for a reason, but yeah, Las Vegas Raiders lost to them. And in probably one of the most erroneous calls ever for a touchdown. One that should have been, should have been done over, but we're going to just leave it at that. Then they go south to Tennessee to take on the number 1 seed Tennessee Titans. And they lost to a Evan McPherson field goal. Finally, they come to Gayha Field at Arrowhead Stadium, taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and they go into overtime, and they win. They win on a, get this, Evan McPherson field goal. It just sounds familiar all of a sudden. But yeah, second-year quarterback Joe Burrow has pretty much surprised all of us. It's like, this is a guy who doesn't look like he's ready for the prime time, and yet he's already here at the Super Bowl. Of course, he also has rookie receiver Jamar Chase, who has shown significant numbers. And of course, we can't forget about Evan McPherson. Of course, we can also talk about Joe Mixon, who has come from a guy under a lot of investigation to a guy who's going to be investigated in his running ability in SoFi Stadium. That being said, we go to the other side of the coin. The Los Angeles Rams. They won on Week 18 after the Cardinals lost to the Seahawks, meaning that they got the NFC West. And then they had to take on the Cardinals in the wild card and easily defeated them. Then they traveled to Tampa Bay to take on the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers and taking on Tom Brady. And it should have been like a Tom Brady casual game for him, but no. Tom Brady lost, and now he's retired. So the Super Bowl champions are gone. You also have the Packers losing to the 49ers, and they were as well the top seed, taking on the 49ers. It was just all jumbled up. And finally, we have the rematch of Week 18, in which we're thinking, okay, 49ers beat them twice in the regular season. What's the chances they're going to beat them a third time? Turns out not good. And as it became a defensive struggle for the most part, only for for Matt Gay to pull off another kick and to win the game. I think one of the bigger factors going into this is the fact that they acquired Odell Beckham from the Cleveland Browns. And he said he wanted to be on a Super Bowl caliber team. And he had two choices at that point. He had the Green Bay Packers and the Los Angeles Rams. We feel stupid because he went with the Los Angeles Rams. So now, for the second time in a row, the host team is in the Super Bowl. Last year, you had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers having Super Bowl in Raymond James Stadium, only be playing in Raymond James Stadium for the Super Bowl, and coming out on top against the Kansas City Chiefs, which turns out to be Tom Brady's last Super Bowl that he won. Which I say he is the GOAT, and that he will be a first round elected into Canton. As for this year, we are going into one of probably the most historic Super Bowls out there. You have a team who doesn't look like they're ready for anything, and you have another team who looks like they just got jumbled together during mid-season, and now they're here. Sounds familiar, I know. I mean, you have Matthew Stafford, who, like Tom Brady, was traded from the Detroit Lions to the Los Angeles Rams for Jared Goff, and it turns out the truth is that it wasn't Matthew Stafford that was bad, it was the coaching that was bad. The coaching was horrific as compared to the coaching of Sean McVay. Now, where does the prediction come to us? Yeah, second-year quarterback Joe Burrow. You have seasonal apprentice. Or I don't really couldn't say apprentice, but the seasonal quarterback of Matthew Stafford. Both have pretty decent offensive lines. They both know how to protect the quarterback, but what it might come down to is their receivers. And I'm already looking at the battle between the longtime veteran Odell Beckham and the sensational rookie Jamar Chase. One of these two is going to have one more touchdown than the other. And look, I want to say that, look, Los Angeles, you got a chance to host the Super Bowl. Now you're playing the Super Bowl, but I don't think you're going to pull the same thing off that Tampa Bay did. I think Joe Burrow, in his second year, is going to pull this off. Here's my final score. My prediction for the Super Bowl 56 is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals 31, Los Angeles Rams 29. Both quarterbacks will be throwing 3 touchdowns, but it'll be a turnover scenario. 2 picks for Matthew Stafford, 1 pick for Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase, 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns for Jamar Chase. 2 touchdowns for Odell Beckham. Joe Mixon might be the key. Might be the backbreaker of Aaron Donald with the other 2 touchdowns. One on the ground, one in the air. So yeah, my final score, my prediction for Super Bowl 21 is Cincinnati 31-29 against the Los Angeles Rams. We'll see how it goes on Sunday, but that's my prediction, and I'll see you later.